Chapter 23. The road stretched long in front of Leah. She followed it in a trance, driving by route, every cell in her body feeling numb. Her world lay in shambles. Neil, the only father she had ever loved, was dead. Ethan was gone, lost to her forever, claimed by his Amish heritage. She had no one, nothing. She began to rouse herself from her stupor when her eyelids threatened to close, realizing she needed to take a break. She picked up some fast food at a drive-thru restaurant window, then got back on the highway and drove to a rest area. The rest area looked clean, but it was crowded with people. Some had settled on blankets and were having picnics. Kids ran and played. A family tossed a frisbee to one another. The spring day scented with new growth and sun-kissed air, only depressed Leah more. How could the world be so happy when she felt so sad? Leah found a deserted picnic table near the edge of some woods and sat down heavily. She opened the bag, but the smell of the food made her feel queasy. Still, she tried to eat it. She had another 3 hours to drive. "What you doing?" The little girl's voice startled Leah. She turned to see a child of about 5 looking at her from a nearby pathway. "Eating lunch," Leah said. "I ate lunch already." "That's good." Leah wished the girl would go away. She wanted to be by herself. "My mom and me are running away," the little girl said. Startled by the child's admission, Leah asked, What are you running away from?" "Everything. That's our car." Leah glanced around and saw a battered old car with a trailer hooked to its rear bumper. The back door of the car stood open, and a woman was rummaging inside for something. "Oh, you mean you're moving?" Leah said. "My dolls and my bed and my toys are locked up. We're taking them a long way off, but I'm not scared." She offered Leah a brave smile. "Mom says I'm her big girl. Mom's got a job in—" She looked thoughtful. "In some place I can't remember." Leah suppressed a smile. "Where's your dad?" The child shrugged. "He went away." She looked sad momentarily, then cocked her head. "Do you like French fries?" "I do." Leah was about to offer her one when the girl's mother came hurrying over. "Cindy, Cindy, I told you to stay near the car." She stopped by the child and took her by the shoulders. "Stop going off and scaring me, and stop bothering people." Cindy's lip stuck out, and Leah quickly said, "It's all right. She's no bother." The woman stood. "You can turn your back for a minute." She looked both apologetic and embarrassed. "I've told her 100 times not to wander off." "I was just about to offer her some of my fries. Is it all right?" The woman looked tired and worn out. "That would be nice of you." "Here, Cindy." Leah held out the small bag. "Take a bunch." Eagerly, Cindy helped herself. She and her mother thanked Leah, then they hurried to the car. Leah watched them with memories of her own many moves slipping through her thoughts. At the car, Cindy said something to her mother. The mother nodded, and Cindy raced back to Leah. "This is for you," she said. She held out a perfect white feather. "I found it." Leah took it. "Why, thank you. It's very pretty. It must have come off a beautiful bird." It didn't come off a bird. It fell off an angel's wing." Cindy explained patiently. "My mom told me so. It's from our guardian angel. She's with us on the trip, you know." A lump formed in Leah's throat. "Are you sure you want to give it to me?" Cindy grinned. "I have to." She darted back to the car and climbed in, and Leah watched until the car and the trailer pulled out of sight. Thoughtfully, Leah returned to her car. She placed the feather on the seat beside her and stared at it for a long time. Finally, she started her car and left the rest area. As she drove, Leah couldn't get Cindy out of her mind. So trusting, Leah thought, confident that her angel and her mother will always take care of her, just like my mother has always taken care of me. The thought took her breath away. True, they had never had a family like Ethan's, but they've had a family. They were a family. Through all of the turmoil, moves, marriages, and changes, Leah and her mother had always been together, and her mother had fought off every adversary that had threatened to keep them apart. Leah considered her life like the feather beside her. It could blow away in an instant. What couldn't change was who and what she was, who and what she had become through the adversity of cancer, her father's desertion, Neil's death, Ethan's love. No one could see into the future, but all at once Leah knew she had a future. A gift given to her by Gabriella, Neil, Ethan, her mother, and even her grandmother. She could have it, if only she would reach out and take it. Yes, she hurt. Yes, her heart felt battered and bruised, but bruises healed, hearts mended. Determination began to replace her depression, and when she turned into the familiar driveway, she wanted to see only one person. She wanted to be held just like a small child. She wanted to cry. Then, in a few days, she wanted to sit down and make some plans. Her mother would help her, Leah was sure. Leah picked up the feather, jumped out of the car, and hurried to the front door. Throwing it open, she called, "Mom, I'm home." And in the deepest part of her heart, Leah Lewis Hall knew it was true.